Thank you very much.
Let's go! As, of course, it looks like half of the IRS agents, 45,000 of them, were just fired and laid off. Welcome to the bestpoliticalshow.com. We're going to be live here for the next 2 hours discussing all the latest and craziest news developing right now. As, of course, there never is a shortage of things to talk about, as things just seem to be getting crazier by the day. And I don't know about you guys, but I am here all for it. Very exciting times to be a part of, as, of course, we wanted to offer you guys to be a part of the show, and you could do that right now by simply signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap, it's affordable, and plus you get to be in the secret chat that I am in right now, where you guys get the ability to call in and ask whatever you want, say whatever you want to our viewing audience. I am in the members chat. If you are a member of LukeUnfiltered.com, make sure to double check and go into the Telegram channel right now if you want to call in. And we probably will be going to you in about 30 minutes from now. That's when Donald Trump is, of course, expected to give his non-State of the Union address. It's like this because, of course, he is not a consecutive president. It's technically called an address to Congress. And we have a lot of radical leftist Congress members that are now planning to probably disrupt, probably planning to protest. We're going to be live for all of it. Of course, I am in the chat room right now, and it's really awesome to see all of you guys participating in this large independent media broadcast experience. Of course, I will ask you guys, share this broadcast with your friends and family members. We're going to be live for 2 hours. So for 2 hours, you got till now, until then, to send this URL out there to the general public. Predominantly, I'm looking in the chat room on youtube.com/wearechange. That, again, is youtube.com/wearechange. We had a very interesting development on our channel. We got a community guideline strike. And surprisingly, YouTube took it away. As, of course, this is our studio. Atlas is, of course, here as well. I wonder if it's just the camera that shows her. Yeah, there we are. As, of course, every person, Atlas, look what I got. Yeah, look what I got. Every person you share this with, I will extort this dog to the fullest potential possible. Every person you share this with, Atlas gets one treat. As, of course, she deserves all the treats. She's the best dog. She is officially my co-host. She's been one of the best co-hosts that I have ever had, if not the best one. So appreciate her from all the people that have been supporting me, supporting her, and allow her to, of course, be here as we have faced massive critical attacks on our infrastructure, on our savings, on our livelihoods by the IRS. And this is why I started SaveLukeNow.com. I literally was at a position and place in my life where the IRS came in and took everything I have ever worked so hard for. And they just took it brutally. No explanation, nothing. It's just like, boom, take. I'm like, okay, let me call these people. Let me find out what's going on here. And to say that this experience was infuriating is an understatement. To say that it was just frustrating to have someone on the line. Okay, all right, yeah, I'm talking to you. Hey, this is my situation. Hey, let's figure something out. Hey, let's work something out here. And then they just like hang up. I'm like, you son of a gun! I was just flabbergasted. I was just like, wait, hold on. You're increasing the debt. You're putting all these penalties on me. You're putting all these fines on me. I was like, listen. I started SaveLukeNow.com. I got 100 special hats. We have I think we still have a lot of them remaining. We have a special sign that, of course, is still in our studio here. And I was, very lucky to still be here. Very blessed to have all of your support, you guys sharing the broadcast and still being here, a part of these conversations. We used to go live a lot. We no longer, of course, do that, as I have been hyper-focused on just producing as much quality content as I can. Today was a crazy day. It was an insane day. So much news breaks nowadays that I've just have to take a deep breath, hone in, and try to work as hard as I possibly can for you guys, as it just never ends nowadays. I woke up did as many videos as I could. I started off by releasing a video at 7:45 a.m. Eastern time. Did a number of videos. Had a freaking dentist appointment today. Not fun. Then, most importantly, we, of course, did a live stream with Dr. Drew. You could go to his channel on YouTube, and you could see our conversation. We had a conversation there for about an hour. Super fun. So go check out the conversation that I had with Dr. Drew on his YouTube channel. But the biggest news today that I have yet been able to do a video about, since, of course, it's just kind of broke here, and many people expect Donald Trump to make this kind of declaration and announcement, is that the IRS will be slashing their workforce in half. Yes, please, and more. Incredible news, beautiful news, some of the most magical news that I never thought I would experience in my life, that essentially brings a tear to my eye in happiness. I can't believe we're living in this larger moment, as Donald Trump is expected to announce this during his address to Congress. But most importantly, he's also going to be releasing a lot of other important news, specifically regarding what's going to be happening in Ukraine, what's going to be happening with the raw minerals, what's going to be specifically happening with NATO, as these bombshell statements are something that has always been a kind of libertarian dream. And this dream, baby, isn't just a wet dream. It's becoming a reality. That hot, amazing babe of freedom and liberty's coming over, and she means business. As that's one way of describing the current situation. As some people are asking, why was I demonetized in the chat room? We were demonetized a number of times, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy to see the kind of scenarios that we're kind of going through. I'll get into the kind of YouTube politics here in a little bit as we watch video of people making their way into the halls of Congress right now. But to answer your guys' question in the chat room, some people are saying my title might be a little misleading. I think you guys might be right, because I think I misread the situation that was going on with Andrew Tate. I might change that right now in the making of this video, as I have a bunch of articles I want to get into, specifically getting into some of the stuff happening with Epstein. I want to get into the stuff happening specifically with Florida, as the Attorney General is now of Florida pressing charges, not pressing charges, officially criminally investigating Andrew Tate. This is another story that, of course, is really, let's just say bombastic. It's really dividing people. I'll just say that. Let me change the title here to be a little bit more fair here, because I agree with some of your criticism. Sometimes our titles aren't the best here, and I appreciate your constructive feedback in this independent media broadcast. We like to listen to our people because we don't always get it right. And when we don't get it right, we try to fix it. All right, so the title should be IRS fired Tate. IRS fired Tate. Criminally investigated? That's so long. But whatever. Criminally investigated in Florida. Criminally investigated is fine. But this is shocking news, as we saw some very strong statements made by the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, saying, yeah, we don't condone Andrew Tate flying here. Donald Trump was asked about Andrew Tate as well. He says, I don't know much about it. To be personally fair, I don't know much about this current ongoing issue, as I would like to see some Epstein documents. I would like to see a lot of really bad people investigated and gone after. And that's not happening. But we're going after the Tates. And I think a lot of this is, of course, politically motivated. There's a kind of coordinated talking point and attacks that have been kind of in unison launched against the Tates, which I find kind of fascinating with the way that all of this is unfolding. Because, again, you either love these guys or you hate these guys. And there's nothing in between here. And seeing this larger kind of launch of a criminal investigation, hearing the rumors of them being raided, having their cell phones taken, seems a little bit egregious and very politically motivated with all the enemies that they have made here, which only will, again, haven't these people learned anything? Don't they understand it, like the basic rules of marketing and PR and the Streisand effect here. Don't they understand that more importantly, that the more you attack someone, the more you prop them up. Okay, you saw what happened with Donald Trump. You saw what happened. You attacked him every single step of the way. And it definitely does seem like Ron DeSantis is doing this for political points. It looks like he is trying to get his wife to become the next governor of Florida. And there are definitely other MAGA Donald Trump folks that don't want that to happen. There's no love affair between the DeSantis types and the MAGA types, as Brian Daniels, a member of Congress, is also officially running and got the endorsement of Donald Trump to be the next governor of Florida, as we are seeing an internal Republican civil war here in the great, beautiful state of Florida that sadly now I have to say is using political prosecution against people because of their kind of thoughts and expressions. Because let's just be real with ourselves. This is the kind of bottom line here that I think a lot of people need to take from all of this. There wouldn't be any kind of real larger criminal investigations. There wouldn't be any kind of larger attacks on these guys if these guys weren't outspoken. And whether you agree with what they're saying or not, some of the things that they're saying, I definitely disagree with. Some of the stuff about pretending to be women on all these kind of adult websites, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But to, go after these guys everywhere criminally, is that justified here? Or is it just because you don't like their political expressions here? I think that's a question that a lot of people are asking themselves. As of course, we have this from the Florida Attorney General. The previous Attorney General of Florida, by the way, was Pam Bondi. Her record here, we'll talk about a little bit here, as she just made a very eye-opening statement surrounding the Epstein files that doesn't look too good. But she also didn't have the best track record when it came to the First and Second Amendment, by the way. Anyway, we'll see what she does. But I already see a couple things that are brewing here that are going to be very troublesome. I'm going to bring up in a little bit. But let's finish talking about the Tates here, which I will, of course, fully talk about in an open and honest, transparent way as best as I can.
Yeah, look, these guys have themselves publicly admitted to participating in what very much appears to be soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women around the world.
Now, the question is, did that happen in the state of Florida? Because if you're going after them for what happened in Romania, I don't think that's going to work here. Were there some victims that came forward? If there were, okay, they might have a solid case here. But are you just kind of going after them and searching for the crime instead of knowing there's a crime? Because there's a difference. And whether you like these guys or you don't like these guys, when a government comes after you looking to see if you committed a crime, not knowing if you did, that's called political prosecution. And the free state of Florida shouldn't represent political prosecution. It shouldn't be fishing for crimes. It should know a crime is happening. It should say what the crime is and then saying, now we're going to investigate further because we have larger suspicions that this happened here on our territory, on U.S. soil. We're going to go after this guy. That's not happening here. This guy's saying, they made some videos. They said some stuff. Yeah, they said a bunch of wild stuff. That's how they get everyone paying attention to them. That's how they get everyone to subscribe to them. They say some wild stuff. People react. They go crazy. And then their kind of, followership goes up dramatically.
Many of these victims coming forward, some of them minors, people can spin or defend however they want. But in Florida, this type of behavior is viewed as atrocious. We're not going to accept it. They chose to come here and set their feet down in this state, and we're going to pursue every tool we have within our legal authority to hold them accountable. So we are in the process today. We have secured an
What are you holding them accountable for? What's the accusations here? There needs to be legitimate reason to do this, not just, we don't like what these guys said online. Because it seems like, from all of us, these guys said something bad. Okay, I don't give a damn. A lot of people say a lot of crazy stuff. That doesn't mean you could have a reason to take away their devices, to raid them, and to use the full might of the local police forces to force your will on them. That's not okay here.
Executed subpoenas and warrants, and we're going to continue to move forward with full force of law. This is an ongoing criminal investigation, and we're going to use every tool we have to ensure that justice is served.
Now, I think I know what happens here because, let's be honest here. Ron DeSantis he takes things personally a lot. Let's just be real with ourselves. Again, I thought he was a great governor during 2020, 2021. I thought there was a big mistake with his presidential run with the larger flip-flop on Ukraine that kind of ended it all and spiraled into the calamity that was his kind of larger political career. Andrew Tate, I think, recently went on a podcast, and then he trashed the governor there. The governor probably got that message. He probably watched that video, and he said, you know what? You're going to make fun of me? You're going to attack me? I'm just going to go after you. And if that's the way that politics works here, it's something that doesn't reassure a lot of Floridians that this is the free state that it proclaims itself to be.
Open a criminal investigation?
There is an active criminal investigation, yes.
Do you believe that can you give me any details of what?
I can't comment on a pending investigation, but what I can tell you is if these guys did criminal activity here in Florida, we will go after them with the full force of law and hold them accountable.
If is the key word here, not they did, and that's why we're going after them. So again, I don't care if you're the biggest fan or the biggest hater of them. They get their attention in their own little specific ways. It's not my cup of tea, but it doesn't have to be your cup of tea to understand the larger, bigger ramifications of this all. I see everyone in the chat room saying larger, larger, larger. I keep saying larger. I gotta find a thesaurus somewhere and find another word to say things like bigly, humongous, tremendous. And I was gonna say it again. I don't know why my mind does this. English is my second language, so thank you for all the people that have been with me for over 21 years, a part of this independent media broadcast. I'm like dyslexic. Two, clearly I got hit in the head a lot. English is my second language, but more importantly, I'm a byproduct of a New York City public school system, a very violent, crazy one that definitely gives me a lot of kafefis, as people are saying in the chat room. Other people are saying, have a nature hike in St. Petersburg. I like that idea. I think I'm going to do that. As people are saying, Luke Larger Radowski. Damn right. I think I'm just going to write and make a t-shirt just saying larger. Some people are saying Florida is an effing joke. Listen, I love Florida. This is a beautiful state, beautiful people. Overall, I still think when it comes to protecting the First Amendment, Second Amendment, it is by far one of the best countries in the world. Not the best. When it comes to everything, specifically with the latest moves that were made by the previous kind of administration here. But overwhelmingly, it is way better placed than I think I have ever been in my life. I absolutely love the beaches, the people networking, the weather. I mean, there's nothing. It's like paradise here. Absolute frickin' paradise. And I am, of course, on the best coast, not the worst coast. The worst coast is the west side that's dealing with all of their horrible red tide. That is also a neurotoxin and really horrible for your cognitive health. Imagine if I was on the worst coast and I had to deal with red tide and I had to deal with more cognitive destruction. Imagine just how much I would be saying larger. Even more. Someone says, Luke went to a ghetto school. I understand. Yeah, absolutely. Super ghetto, super ratchet. And this was Brooklyn in the 1990s. And we're not talking about late 1990s. We're talking about like 1993. That's when I came to New York City from good old, beautiful Poland. Poland with very homogeneous, amazing people of my kind. Blonde hair, blue-eyed people all over the place. Amazing people, lots of family, lots of friends, common language. And then obviously just brought into this horrible place that was a crap hole. Atlas is going crazy here because she hears me hitting the table. Atlas, it's totally fine. As we wait, couch, let's go. Oh, you shared the video. Oh, thank you. Atlas gets one more treat. We're going to be extorting her as best as we can here as we appreciate all of you guys, all your support. It's just me in the studio today here, as you can see me right here, a part of this independent media network that I was going to do a big thing. I was going to get like Roger Stone and a bunch of people. People are saying, deport Luke. You better not. I got my papers. I took the test, and I am an American citizen, and I love this country. I even love this state. Doesn't mean I have to love governments. Doesn't mean I have to love the actions of the state here. But I do overwhelmingly feel very patriotic and very appreciative of all the incredible opportunities that we are given here in the United States of America. We're not given a lot of opportunities in a lot of other places. A lot of other places are screwed. A lot of other places are dealing with so many social or economic or freedom-oriented problems that you have to understand. America is like a rare gem, and that rare gem was getting crapped on by the liberal leftist communists. Those armpit-haired, blue-haired, flip-flop, yuppie, Starbucks drinking yuppies that had it too good for too long. Too many of those good times that created too many weak men. And it's absolutely pathetic. Right now, Donald Trump is in the process of wiping off the crap that was put on this amazing gem by this amazing opportunity that all of us here have. And I think once we're going to realize, whoa, hold on, we're getting a lot of crap off of this thing. This thing's shiny. This thing's beautiful. This thing's actually worth cherishing and respecting. This thing is actually wonderful and beautiful. And it's something that we should be proud of. Bam! Then RFK gets rid of the fluoride, and then bam, we get rid of all the horrible stuff happening here. As it looks like we're about to begin here with the larger address to Congress.
Predecessor John F. Kennedy got elected, and he wanted Lyndon Johnson.
Members of the committee on the part of the House to escort the President of the United States into the chamber. The following: the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise; the gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer; the gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain; the gentleman from North Carolina.
Okay,
Mr.
he's just going to
Hudson.
read off a whole bunch of names here. I'm trying to figure out a best way to show this video without it being cropped for you guys. But I think that's okay. I think that's going to be a good assessment there, as of course he addresses everyone in the room right now. And truly, I mean, this news today, absolutely epic. So a couple things that I expect Donald Trump to bring up today. One, the Deutsche efforts. The massive cuts made to government, as he's probably going to be announcing bigger cuts, which, man, oh my gosh, golly, give it to me more, right in my veins. People are saying louder, please. Don't worry. We'll up the volume and change it accordingly. Trust me, I'm looking at the chat room. I'm talking to you guys right now, and we, of course, will be talking and communicating throughout the duration of this. But what to expect here from Donald Trump's address to Congress, specifically Deutsche, government cuts, immigration, foreign policy changes, and the larger initiatives that he's going to be bringing forward from here on out. Donald Trump has been a man on a mission. The guy has been kicking major butt. People are saying RSBN has good audio. We have them as a second source here, so don't worry. Look at that. We got all of these networks lined up. We got one in case the other one fails. So we are good to go, as it looks like Donald Trump is going to be announced very soon here. All right, let's go. Make sure the audio is playing. We got some people wearing pink there. Not a surprise. Oh, why? Well, I wonder why. They're all wearing pink. As there was also a larger consideration of members of Congress holding up empty cartons of eggs, which I think represents the larger fertility crisis here in the United States. As of course,
Speaker, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
I don't know, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. Okay, all right. So we're going to wait until Donald Trump gets in there. And once Donald Trump gets in there, we, of course, will be going live to this event here that all of us are paying close attention to, because this is going to be big. I expect Donald Trump to go off the cuff. This is what we're also hearing. We're hearing that he's not going to be specifically reading from a teleprompter. Stop saying larger in the chat room. You guys are triggering me. Gosh darn it. And you're making me self-conscious. Like, man, I do say larger a lot. I got to stop saying larger. Stop saying, and then this is the psyop. It's a psyop. It's probably the CIA doing this right now. I'm going to blame it on the CIA. The more I try to stop myself from doing that, the more it's in my mind, the more I want to do it. And then also, it's just that type of like attitude of like, hey, stop saying it. I'm like, you don't tell me what to say? You're going to tell me to stop saying larger? I'm going to start saying larger. So people are saying I'm also mispronouncing Deutsch. Listen, I'll pronounce it like I want it. All right? All right? I'll do what I want. Anyway, let's continue on with the broadcast as we have a lot of the politicians finally being brought out here. How many people think there will be disruptions today? I want to know. Press 1 if you think there's going to be disruptions in the chat. Press number 2 if you think everyone's going to be on their best behavior, because I truly do believe there's going to be some kind of outbursts. The levels of decorum have absolutely been lost here within the last few days, and people are now saying huge in the chat room. Damn right. I appreciate you guys very much. A lot of people are saying 1, specifically expecting a lot of left-wing liberal Democrats of freaking out and just going absolutely crazy here. Looks like there's a little bit of a delay on the C-SPAN feed, but I kind of like the C-SPAN feed because we don't have to deal with incredible ads from RBN. RBN, it's like ad, and it's like an ad every 2 minutes. Oh, did I tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com and SaveLukeNow.com? Sorry, I'm joking. I'm not. SaveLukeNow.com. But no, RBN is a little excessive. It's like every 5 minutes. It's like, here's another ad. Here's another ad. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to think about this myself. I think the media space has way too many ads. I mean, I am just getting inundated with ad after ad after ad. And I'm like, really? More? Like, come on. I try to balance it. I do one ad in the middle of my video whenever I do a video, and I'm like, okay, let me just promote some of this stuff because I need to survive. But everyone's trying to say code word larger. Damn right. Luke, interruptions. I press 3. I don't know if I'll be interrupting, but also a lot of people play these streams and then they keep talking over like Donald Trump. I'm like, wait until Donald Trump stops talking. Make a point, but make it quick, okay? Too many people during these live streams. What's up, Alice? Come here. Wrong side. Too many people during these conversations are like, I'm like, shut up. I want to hear what they have to say. If you want to make a point, make it quick and make it concise so you don't take away from the larger reason why all of us are here. We want to hear from Donald Trump, and we're going to give the larger assessment. The larger assessment. Goodness. Golly gracious. The larger assessment here about everything that's unfolding, and whoa, goodness gracious, the larger perspective and assessment of everything unfolding in real time here. Now, this reaction when Trump's going to be walking into the room, I think it's going to be big, because I think already we're going to see the protests, the disruptions, and the people there kind of voicing their opposition to him, which is hilarious, which has backfired. If you look at everything that Trump has been doing, a lot of it, some of it is hyperbolic. But then when you look at the hyperbolic stuff, it's like, okay, well, maybe there's a larger, bigger strategy here. Larger. There's potentially a bigger kind of objective here. There could be a larger goal here that we might not know about, that this statement that he's making, that I disagree with in the beginning, is being made specifically to kind of address to all of us, to set up a perfect scenario where the American people actually get something out of it and the administration is able to accomplish something rather than stalemate. Okay, there's the pink ladies. I'm surprised they're not wearing their little pink hats here. And I don't know what they're trying to represent here. I would have to look on social media in order to see what their larger reasoning for wearing pink is, other than orange man bad. Could be some kind of foundation too. I don't want to go all crazy and be like, oh, they're horrible, and then they're like raising some money for some charity and some organization. But again, I expect Trump to probably go a little bit longer than he usually goes on. He knows that this is his time for the whole nation, the whole country to listen to him. I think he has already established his agenda in such a massive, tremendous way that anything kind of moving forward from here is going to be the kind of caveat here. It's going to be incredible. Because looking back at the past month plus that he's been in office already, wow, incredible stuff, especially all the firing, especially all the DEI that has been cut off, the cancer that has been cut off from the American people, the lunacy, the insanity, the deprived thinking of some of these lunatics that day after day just kept ramming to us, white people bad. That day is finally over. Also, it looks like Thomas Macy is inviting Ross Ulbricht as his official guest to this not State of the Union address. As there's a photo right now, I'll pull it up on screen, of Thomas Macy, Congressman G. Thomas Macy, a great guy. Truly one of the best Congress members out there right now. Seen here with that famous debt clock. I got that debt clock personally myself too, where now it is on the chest of Ross Ulbricht, who of course was freed by Donald Trump and his massive, incredible actions that freed this man from captivity. The guy was facing double life sentences, and now he's attending the State of the Union. So many ads on here. I'm like, get out of here. C-SPAN here, at least, we know they won't spam us with a whole bunch of ads. But soon, the ads will be inside of your head through the microchips. They won't be fun, but enjoy the inundation as much as you can. By the way, we might have some time to take some callers, by the way, as the pinkos. They're literal pinkos. Pinko communists. Goodness, what did that say there? What does it say? We the people. Okay, 14th Amendment. Okay. Well, you're wearing pink and writing on yourself. So brave, so bold. Oh, As now we have Donald Trump's wife.
Sure who that Melania. One was. I think we've had her head pretty.
Yes,
80%, haven't we?
Oh, I think more than that.
And Melania Trump, who was on Capitol Hill yesterday as well. Was that a surprise to you down at the White House?
Is that guy wearing a do-rag and a Texas hat? As, of course, everyone now is greeting the the First Lady.
Revenge porn victims, the comparatory family that was... the father was
I wonder if we could see Ross Ulbricht here.
Pennsylvania. So she's sitting with her guests there.
Reagan Riley family is
That's
there.
Right. That's right.
To answer your question, I wasn't surprised to see her. I mean, I think those were her first public remarks since Donald Trump took office. There were some questions about how much she would be in Washington, how frequently she'd be around. But I think that there's a real shift in energy, not just from the president, but also from her office, trying to do things much differently this time around.
Here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the president's cabinet.
No one knows that First Lady. Poor lady. As, of course, everyone starts, of course, greeting, shaking hands. There's Pam Bondi. Lots of questions surrounding her latest statement today, which I think were very peculiar, to say the least here.
And now the cabinet is coming in. Secretary of State Rubio, Secretary of the Treasury Bessent. We saw there as well Attorney General Pam Bondi. Pete Hegseth was there. Mr. Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, who we talked about a little bit earlier. RFK Jr., of course, HHS. There's Scott Turner.
Yeah, RFK Jr. facing a lot of criticism today. Everyone, the corporate media, the alternative media, everyone's kind of attacking him. I thought he could have done a better statement addressing the situation in Texas here. Essentially, he said, hey, everyone's health is in their own hands. Make some wise decisions for yourself. And everyone just kind of flipped out because he said, hey, do whatever you want.
Rochester.
I'm going to be scrolling through
we
Twitter.
Have Carol from
seeing what else everyone is
Illinois.
saying here.
Carol Mosley Braun. We have Angela Alsobrooks, Maryland.
Kamala Harris was the second.
Kamala Harris, of course, and then Lisa Blunt, Rochester.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got some breaking news that's going to piss off RFK Jr. as we got the first images of tonight's dinner for the White House communications team. People are saying, where in the world is RFK Jr.? Why are you doing this to yourselves? Why? My goodness, golly gracious. No!
Is that Brooke Rollins, the Ag Secretary?
Really? That's really what you guys are going to be eating? Truly a shame.
It is sort of odd
so
to
cool
have
to see
something
Ross
like this with,
there.
I mean,
that's
there's
pretty
so much
cool
we're
that he's
paying
going to be
attention
there.
to the fashions because
I
of
think,
like some of the protests and so forth.
I think Donald Trump might be shouting him out, which would be pretty cool, especially if Ross Ulbricht gets to stand up and Donald Trump says, look, that's what I did. As a lot of people were saying, it's not going to happen. There's no way Donald Trump's going to be pardoning Ross Ulbricht. All those people were wrong. And there was a lot of those people. People are saying the delay is crazy. Is that the delay just on the C-SPAN stuff? If you guys know a better broadcast you guys want me to play from, let me know, because I think C-SPAN is just a little bit delayed here. So if you guys have another one that is not filled with ads, or because you have the right side news, but they have so many ads, it's just absolutely crazy. And then they just play the ads in between some of the live streams. And some of the ads I just don't agree with. There's a lot of bad ads out there, by the way, guys. Just because your favorite influencer is promoting a company, that doesn't mean they're good, okay? I do a lot of due diligence, especially when it comes to working with specific advertisers. A lot of really crummy ones. Lots of really bad ones. And be careful what you guys consume out there, especially with so many scams out there. People are saying the White House's YouTube channel has the feed here without the delay. Okay, so we will go to them. And now we have the White House version up here as well. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate that. People are saying there's Antifa protesting. I haven't seen any of that. But people are saying that there are people trying to block President Trump from being able to make his way to the Capitol. As some people are saying that there was a decoy motorcade used here, and some arrests are being reported that weren't made here. Again, I cannot confirm everything here. But, man, oh, man, oh, man, that McDonald's. What are they doing? What are you doing, guys? Come on. Well, we could do a little bit better here as we have Democratic Congresswomen wearing pink because, quote, this is what we're finding out here. It's a color of power and protest. No, it's a color of a pinko commie. You're a pinko commie. We get it. All right. You hate food. You hate freedom. You hate church. You hate family. We get it. All right. Whatever. Commies always do that. But what can you expect here? As it looks like Donald Trump's late. He's about 9 minutes late here. People are saying the audio. I think the audio so far is good here. I think we're going to be seeing what the White House has that are going to be broadcasting. We're going to see what C-SPAN has here, and we're going to pick the best coverage of this to make sure that you guys get the uninterrupted. You'll get a little bit of my commentary whenever I feel the need or whenever I feel it's important to actually say something. I will say something, but I will do it in a way where I don't hijack and take over the whole broadcast and think I'm more important than the President of the United States. That is just a little bit ridiculous, as a lot of people are saying. Trump is fashionably late, as always, and he does do that during a lot of his appearances. A lot of times he just is supposed to show up at 8, and then he goes up on stage at like 10. Sometimes he's just usually busy, but a lot of people believe that this is kind of a larger ploy to make more people talk about him and obsess about him and pay attention to him. A lot of public speakers are usually late, and I wonder what's the kind of prerogative. Well, what does that do here? Because for me, it just pisses me off. I'm like, you're late. Let's go. I'm a New Yorker too, though. New Yorkers don't like people that are late. If you're late, I'm like, Anyway, today, wild, crazy day unfolding. Let me put this video here. So I'll just have this video here, And I'll keep going through articles and videos as the left is calling for Donald Trump to resign. I don't think he will. This is a little bit of a ridiculous statement here. And it's a statement that I think isn't going to go anywhere. Here's a statement from the liberal leftist talking points today, making this kind of larger declarative statement.
A fellow ally to resign. So I'm going to go ahead and go out on the record right here. I'm going to call it. The Ukrainians and the Europeans can't work with Trump. I'm calling on Donald Trump to resign. And then we can find somebody reasonable for our allies to work with. There we go. That's it. It's out there now. Yeah.
I mean, if Lindsey Graham can call on Zelensky to resign, why can't Alex Vindman call on Donald Trump to resign? I mean, all's fair in love and war. And there's a lot of love between.
Yeah, wishful thinking there, buddy. Good luck with that one. As I think it's fair to assume here that nothing will really come out of that, as we have more deranged hot air from the leftoids. As we saw this latest video that was released by a lot of Democratic representatives of the U.S. government that in unison said the same thing all at once. As, of course, the left can't meme and they can't have any kind of original ideas. They're really bad at this. They're not that good.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
Not true. That's
I feel like I'm torturing you guys. Apologies. Same talking points. Oh no, inflation. The guy's been in there for about a month. Okay, and now you're trying to say that he's responsible for all of the horrible waste, for all of the abuses, for the poor state of this economy. You're telling me that he's responsible for all of it, as of course now we have benefits of Donald Trump. Whoa. Sounded like someone was trying to boo Donald Trump here, but overwhelmingly one side of the aisle is definitely happy. Another side is very quiet. RBN is having some problems. We're going to have a backup stream just in case. Yeah, I think it's just... I think it's just RBN having issues and problems. Let me go double check the White House YouTube channel, because I think they'll have the best coverage of all of this, and they won't be cutting out. Boom, here you go. I think they have the lowest audio out of all of them. Let's just leave it on here. We also appreciate any super chats, of course, as well. Appreciate your time and viewership. The left is big mad. Look at him just sitting there.
Thank you.
Someone just said the White House audio is much clearer.
Thank you.
Look at Ben Shapiro there. Look at Ben, little Ben boy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
Someone said number on Google. Guys, come on, sink ships here, all right, guys?
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
That it is. That it very much is. Look at half of them sitting down.
Six weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
That's true. He's been able to get done a lot.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back. Our spirit.
All right, what is this?
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Someone's trying to interrupt. Oh, it looks like someone on the Democrat side is going after and interrupting Trump.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
He said that to the guy interrupting him. The guy standing up with a cane.
For the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Oh, wow. So it's clear they're interrupting Trump so they can prevent him from
Members
speaking.
are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
They're going to probably carry him out. Some people are saying that's Al Green. But that's the left for you. You know, protest and interrupt and be rude.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir.
Yeah,
take
that looks like Congressman Al Green.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Yeah, that's the guy who wants to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. So a woke leftist liberal who, of course, is from Texas. What a surprise there. As it looks like he's being asked to leave, and he continues his rabble-rousing and his screaming at Donald Trump there. Fascinating start to this.
Members are directed to
address.
uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
It also looks like someone threw something at Trump when he was walking in, by the way. I just posted about it on Twitter at LukeWeAreChange. Just posted that video.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
They see that much more. Oh my God, look at Nancy there. She's probably all boozed up. What did that sign say? Musk steals?
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Sounds like a good plot. They don't like it. Musk steals. Save Medicaid. Save Medicaid. That's the signs that they have up on them.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid. I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars. that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
So corrupt, so evil. Total globalist institution.
And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
This is from the White House. Their own videos are buffering. I'm going to just lower the quality so it doesn't buffer again.
We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
That was a globalist mandate that, of course, got rid of car manufacturing, diesel cars, RVs in the United States. It's already happened in multiple states. It's crazy. It's an insane law that should have never been passed.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
Good. Thank goodness. Get rid of all the regulations. 1 for 10? Screw it. 1 for 100.
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
That means they have to work. Communists hate to work.
And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
There's still censorship on Facebook and YouTube, by the way, which is not fun to deal with as a content creator. I think Trump still has a little bit more to do.
2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
That's helpful. I prefer that. No hablo español. Gosh darn it, too many people speak Spanish here in Miami. It's annoying.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
Good. Super important move.
And our country will be woke no longer.
Good. I wonder who you pointed to. I think he pointed to Nancy Pelosi on that one.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
An old value that we used to respect.
You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Simple. It's that simple, folks.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
That's a big one. That's a very important one, but we need that Epstein stuff more importantly. JFK stuff, RFK stuff, MLK. Let's release all that. Where's that stuff? That's what
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side, and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
That's how to do it.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer. What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Yep, the lefties are trying to blame it all on Trump right now. That's why you're hearing them kind of scream here and disrupt.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Easy policy.
My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Okay. I wonder if he's going to announce the Ukraine deal soon. A lot of people are saying he's going to do it now.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but we'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
Good. Far too much of it is wasted away. Disgusting what's been happening.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, GOGE.
Damn
Perhaps
right.
you've heard of it. Perhaps.
I think he might be talking about the Doge Act.
Which
There's
is
Elon.
headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Look at that weaponized autism.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that.
He pointed at the liberals.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. $2 billion.
A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education, the most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Yeah, it's insane. The levels of deprived theft that was going on all under everyone's nose until, of course, Elon came in and investigated, found it, exposed it.
And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taken back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty funny joke. I don't think we're that healthy, though. I think Bobby agrees. RFK Jr., that we're all kind of screwed here.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families. And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
Yeah, I think the last time that happened was under Bill Clinton. But that would be huge. That we just actually not borrow, not in debt, not financially ruin this country. That would be nice, you know? That would be absolutely incredible. That would be wonderful to see. Will we see it? Well, I think so.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk-takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt.
Yeah.
Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
The Democrats really love their democracy until now.
And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Damn right.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
Wow. Yeah. More
but
tax
I know
cuts.
this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Of course, pointing to the Republicans at the side of the room there, as clearly Trump definitely made a very declarative statement there that I think is of utmost importance for everyone to kind of realize here. As again,
along with our other policies, will
for more taxes.
Allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three. the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world. And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
Someone on the left just said no.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025, and it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
Yeah, mixed results, to be quite honest. The first term.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea. But that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us,
that's significant. That's huge.
We will tax them.
That's big news right there. Wow.
If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
Not the biggest fan of tariffs, but I think if there's one way of getting rid of tariffs is to implement them back, and hopefully the other country backs down and just gets rid of them.
3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Yeah, stop wasting our money.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases. They were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen. Great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen. And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly won't have home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce.
Thank you for all the super chat. Mac Coeta, thank you so much for that. We're going to read all the other ones here.
Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
A lot of achievements that he's bringing up. I want to.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
That's pretty funny.
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America.
That's true. Liberated from liberal, crazy Democrats and bureaucrats
but
that want to control every aspect of your life.
Is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Oh, wow, he's signing live executive orders.
Thank you very much. All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations. They are now officially in the same category as ISIS.
Wow, this is a big designation.
That's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
I don't know if we need more wars. Personally speaking, I think we got a lot of wars already. Do we need more wars? There's a way to deal with them that doesn't include
Mexican
war.
authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bond.
They need all the luck they can get. They've been going through a PR nightmare recently.
Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash. They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them.
We'll see how they do.
We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice. 1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer, and tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law. I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers. so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
Bunch of people disrupting now on the left.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
That kid probably gets picked on a lot.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Oh, wow. I wonder what he's on. Probably a lot of the anti-parasitics that a lot of the people don't know talking about. RFK's like, yeah, I can learn about it. Let's find out what he did. Is he methylene blue? By the way, be careful with methylene blue.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That's cool. Hey, listen, guys. He'll do a way better job than all those DEI women hires, okay? He's going to be a way better Secret Service agent than all those fat women that failed to protect Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. So, hey, I'd rather him. Listen, if I'm the president of the United States, do I choose Big Butt Becky to protect me and guard me, or do I choose this young man with cancer? I'm choosing this young man, okay? Let's just be real. All right? Let's be honest with us. I wonder if he gets a pension, man. He's in shock. You know?
Thank you, DJ.
His face just showed how excited he was, which was, obviously will be very visceral.
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%.
Yep.
Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
Damn right. That's going to be a big, important job.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget.
That's true.
Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
The most important job, if we're going to have a country left. Let's be real with ourselves. If we're going to have a nation that survives, we're going to need Biden to do a good job here.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl.
That's so messed
Teachers
up.
and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
Thank goodness.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth. And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
Damn right.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
What is that peak headset over there? As there's a little disruption here from RBN.
It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Some people in the comments are saying jarhead.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Trump's like Oprah today. He's like, you get a car. You get a car. America gets freed. Prosperity here. Wow. He's probably really happy. Look at that young man coming in there afterwards.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
If we're going to finance foreign countries to have it, we should have it ourselves first before giving it off to other countries.
And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
China produces
and for
ships
that
very
purpose,
fast.
I'm announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon.
China is building up.
It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
How do you reclaim the Panama Canal? I don't know how he's going to do that.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans.
I think that was BlackRock.
Americans, not for others. But others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice...
The American company that Trump's talking about is BlackRock. BlackRock bought the Panama ports.
Chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Did we give BlackRock the money to buy it, or did the Federal Reserve just do that? I want to know what happened here.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco.
Little Marco, little water.
I think that's wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you.
Trump should be concerned. That's the deep state swamp monster.
Great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice. And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown. That when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
The Democrats might be ashamed into standing up for this one.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Oh.
2,000 People are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that.
Yeah, that was a
They've spent
statement he
more
released.
buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Absolutely. It would be a huge, important endeavor that needs to be done as soon as possible.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we...
Yeah, I remember this story. It was a pretty wild, crazy story. A little bit of a hiccup here. Don't worry. We'll be back very soon.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally.
Mm-hmm.
That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you. To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communist fascists and Marxists all over the world and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age, these workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities, these warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
Elon was probably happy about that last one.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
Looks like Trump's ending soon. Yeah, it looks like he's wrapping up here, especially reading finally the teleprompter. Lauren Boebert, look how happy she is. She's a happy gal. A very happy gal. Uh-oh. Let's go back to this. People are saying I'm sleeping. I'm not. I'm just looking down on my phone. And I'm like perusing Twitter to see what's going on there. As we wait for RBN to get their video feed right. Might have to go back to the White House YouTube channel. I don't know what's wrong with RBN. Right, there we go. Oh, look, that's it. Oh, wow. That was Donald Trump's speech. It just cut out right at that moment, opportune time. As now President Trump is shaking hands with all the other people that were there. Lots of people in attendance. I'm going to read off some of your super chats, which I definitely appreciate. If you guys want to call in, we're going to be going to callers for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. But in the chat room, 1 to 10, let me know what you thought of Donald Trump's speech. I was expecting more announcements. I was expecting more kind of bigger kind of declarations like, we're going to do this and this and this. It was a very kind of canned speech about, this is all that I achieved, and we're going to try to get this. We saw some declarations here, but nothing really too groundbreaking, nothing really too huge. Everything else we kind of heard. 1 to 10, what do you guys think of this Trump speech? How would you rate it? 1 out of 10, 10 being extremely high, 1 being extremely low. Shouts out to Mike Coet for the super chat. Shouts out to Eat Me, who gave me a $2 super chat saying, Luke, who got monetized again? You, Luke. Yeah, we did, surprisingly. And we're actually doing really good on this YouTube channel, youtube.com/wearechange. Subscribe, click the notification button. We're kicking some major butt here, and we're getting a lot done. We're getting a lot accomplished through all of you amazing people. So we appreciate it. We got another super chat here from, who is this person? Hold on, I got to try to scroll up so I could read their name. There's like, I think the page just here we go. OCP official rep, I have no idea what that is, saying, love the channel. We at OCP would like to offer a buyout of We Are Change Media to help further the Fund Delta City. Don't know what that is, and sorry, but we are not for sale here. We appreciate all your super chats. I'm going to go into the chat room for the members to see if you guys are wanting to call in. If you want to call in, now's the time to call in. Sign up to lookunfiltered.com. I just put it in the description and in the comment section. And let me type in who wants to call in. Overall, I thought it was a good speech. It was an important speech. Now, it wasn't the best speech ever, but it was a well-done speech. It was a speech that started off with him being interrupted by a Democrat member of Congress whose main kind of initiative is to make Juneteenth federal national holiday. That's literally his main issue. Like, we got to make Juneteenth the main thing. And, of course, he was interrupting Trump, being rude and showing no decorum here at all. Very interesting to see all the Democrats very kind of just sitting there, not standing up, not clapping, as it's fair to say the divide in this country definitely is very vast, definitely is very big here. And I think it's fair to assume that divide is only going to get a lot bigger from here. There's MTG there that just got a kiss on the cheek by Donald Trump there, as he, of course, is shaking hands and making his way out of the building. So a lot of people are saying 6 out of 10. I think that's fair. I think that's what I would give him, to be quite honest with you. I saw a couple of Trump's speeches, and this one went on for quite a while. I mean, it started around 9:15. It's already 11 p.m. Eastern time, so a very long speech. I thought what he had to say about the Panama Canal was the most interesting part, because he talked about American company. Well, it's more of an international, it's globalist company. Let's just be real with ourselves. It's BlackRock struck a deal for the Panama ports. This, as the United States is, of course, pressuring Panama to sell its canal to the United States. Now, does that mean that they have already sold it, or will there be some other larger moves and pressures being made here on the local Panamanian government? How will this proceed here? As he also hinted at a larger kind of initiative to allow the people of Greenland to vote to be a part of the United States. So a lot of people saying, bro wasn't electric. Yeah, he was kind of monotone, going after point by point by point, waiting for people to, of course, applaud, sit down. And I would kind of agree. There wasn't a kind of rhythm here that you usually kind of see. Now, it was the kind of State of the Union that you usually see here. But again, the political divide, very evident, very apparent here, and only going to get worse. There's Lauren Boebert and Paulina Luna there that, of course, was recently at odds with the Attorney General Pam Bondi, that earlier today declared that some of the Epstein files will be redacted for national security. What in the world does that mean? That's a question that, of course, I have personally myself. And I think that's going to be the next video that I do here, since that's a question that is on everyone's mind. Now, Trump didn't bring up the Epstein files here. He didn't really bring up any other larger conspiracies other than talking about the larger, more important job that RFK Jr. has when it comes to trying to make this country healthy. Now, the president of the United States, he's almost 80 years old, as people were pointing out in the comment section. And for an 80-year-old, oh, man, incredible job by Donald Trump there, that truly did perform in a way that's extremely impressive for anyone of his age. I mean, Joe Biden would have been up there looking like the crypt keeper. This guy kept it all together for a lot longer than a lot of people expected him to speak. He went on for quite a while, and he definitely gave us a show. He made it about a lot of other people in the crowd, just like they do with normal kind of politicking. You don't really just want to keep talking about yourself. You want to kind of show people, hey, we're going to help you out and you out. He was kind of helping people out achieve their dreams and goals, highlighting this larger kind of change in era in our country where your dreams could be achieved. Your aspirations could be reached as we are living under a new realm of opportunity in this country that we haven't really ever seen before. We are truly living in unprecedented times. We're the first time in a long time we finally have the larger opportunity to have our future ahead of us in a way where we actually determine it. As, of course, there's a lot of memes, specifically with Nancy Pelosi, one of the most corrupted deep state politicians in the world. This is a clip. I haven't played this yet. I don't know if I'm going to regret playing it or not, but you know what? Let's play it. I love these AI videos. They're absolutely unhinged. Whoa there. Who the hell is this creature? I don't need to see this before I go to sleep, as we have Disney villains in the crowd here from frickin' Hogwarts. What was it? Harry Potter was home and missing. She had nothing else to do that day. As again, lots of wild stuff, as we have now also the announcement of a criminal investigation against the Tates. People, of course, reacting to this larger address to Congress. The memes here are just absolutely amazing. I love the meme. I love the meme community, and you guys truly outdo yourself. Who did this one? Joel Fisher. Shout out to Joel Fisher for making this this latest drop here. That is absolutely incredible, and I love to see it because it's fun to see all of these people. Some of the things, again, you're going on your Twitter feed, it's like, whoa, I can't show that. I got to go off of it. I got to show. I got to wait. Mm-hmm. I got to wait. Oh, I can't show that. Can't show that. Can't show that. And there's a bunch of other stuff that is a little hyperbolic, to say the least here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. It doesn't look like we have any members that wants to call in. We appreciate all of your super chats here. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to shoot another video. I'm going to release another video later on tonight. Again, I've been on a tear lately, so I appreciate your support. Again, there's something in the ether. There's something in the larger kind of energetic frequency out there that has now reinvigorated me. I used to do just one video a day, every day. Now I'm doing like 5. And I'm mainly doing that because there's something else in the ether. There's something else like, let's go. It's go time. It's time to document all of this as larger as... Sorry, I'm seeing all the chat rooms. I appreciate your trolling. I appreciate your comments. It does mean a lot to have all of your support, even especially all the tomfoolery. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange. I wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't for you guys, and this is why I